fun one time. Let's make this all the notes and everything. Anyway, we also have from the top echelon from the National Guard, the 10th Command Chief Warrant Officer for the Army National Guard, CW5 Bernard Hagen. Command Chief Warrant Officer of Guam and their band commander, CW5 Christopher Awashita. Vice Chief of the National Guard Band, CW4 Scott Pearson. Is somebody with long fill out here? Nah, okay. The Chief of the Army Reserve Band, CW5 Luis Santiago. In the Army Reserve Band, Sergeant Major and the legend, Sergeant Major Matthew LaBarba. Is this going to be your last one?
It is, sir.
After, I've been on for 17 years doing this, right?
Yes, sir. That's correct.
The last one. I'm telling you, he's a legend. They're all here because this is a special moment where we welcome a new class from all Campos to not only the band family, but to the ASHA General family as well. The next set of VIPs are the parents. This is a good word I'm looking for. A lot of y'all are here. We are lucky to have parents that have listened to hours upon hours of practicing, starting from our early childhood. And I'm going to take a wild guess at the thought that one day that noise would lead to a career in the military, being the small minority that have chosen to serve, bringing morale to the American masses, was not an initial thought. You should also be proud that you raised a child that would persevere through all the challenges the past. Parents, a job well done. Let's give the parents here and at home a round of applause. And hopefully their time here at the school has made friendships that will last a lifetime. As they begin, you do not know what will be in store in your future. That is White House ceremonies, trips to other countries, and even as reserve bands have experienced a Grand Ole Opry member joining your unit. But fate has chosen you to make America happy. Congratulations to you and the parents that have endured all those hours through the years to reach this pinnacle. So get out there, play great music, strive to make your audience members from soldiers to the community. Make them remember your performance and feel the joy well past the last note. And always work to get better. The soldiers in America deserve your best. And lastly, have fun. I hope that you love putting on the uniform for a long time. You deserve to be happy, especially since you decided to make your career based on delivering happiness. I used to have this story in here, I took it out last time anyway. Band of Brothers fan, Major Dick Winters, the lead character in the Band of Brothers. And I got to spend a day with him, and he was with us in the band. And he watched me go around being goofy and all that kind of stuff. And his last comment, he gave me a hug on the way out, and he said, "Keep him laughing." And that was coming from the war hero that saw everything from World War II. Keep him laughing. So, that being said, good luck to every one of you. This is your new Army Band home, and you're always welcome. God bless the Army, Navy, and Marines. Pride, service, music. Thank you.
U.S. Army School of Music Instructor of the Cycle was created to identify and recognize the instructor who, over the course of the cycle, best displayed professionalism and dedication to ensure that all students received total quality training. The instructor of the cycle is selected through a rigorous process that evaluates the individual's mission effectiveness, organizational planning skills, and decision-making. The instructor of the cycle will receive an Army Achievement Medal, a Commandant's Point of Excellence, and will have their name permanently displayed in the Instructor of the Cycle plaque. It's my honor to announce that the Instructor of the Cycle is Sergeant First Class Stephen M. Fabry. We will now graduate the Distinguished Honor Graduate. In each cycle, one soldier is recognized as the Distinguished Honor Graduate based on overall academic performance. This individual will receive a graduation certificate. The Army Fitness Test is designed to measure 5 domains of combat fitness: muscular strength, muscular endurance, cardiorespiratory endurance, explosive power, and pace and agility. In each Army Musician course, one soldier is recognized for achieving the highest AFT score, demonstrating elite physical and mental toughness. This individual will receive a graduation certificate, a Commandant's Point of Excellence, and a Certificate of Achievement. With a score of 482 out of a possible 500 points, the soldier receiving this award, as well as making Commandant's List, is Specialist Leo Sandoval, 25th Infantry Division Band, Hawaii. We will now graduate the soldiers of Army Musician Course 26-002. You have met all the requirements of this course and will now be awarded the MOS 42 Romeo, Army Musician. Students graduating in the top 20% based on overall GPA will be announced as the Commandant's List. A citation on each graduation certificate reads, "The Commandant, United States Army School of Music, takes pride in awarding this certificate for completion of the Army Musician Course." Signed, Colonel Treg E. Onsame, United States Army School of Music, Commandant. Specialist Anna Baker, 106th Army Band, Arkansas, Commandant's List. Specialist Christian Ballard, 8th Army Band, Korea, Commandant's List. Specialist Camber Flick, 1st Cavalry Division Band, Fort Hood, Texas, Commandant's List. Specialist Michael Kirby III, 3rd Infantry Division, Fort Stewart, Georgia, Commandant's List. Specialist Jai Hyuk Lee, 1st Cavalry Division Band, Fort Hood, Texas, Commandant's List. Specialist Orlando Nunez Rivera, 248th Army Band, Puerto Rico, Commandant's List. Specialist Patrick O'Brien, 1st Infantry Division Band, Fort Riley, Kansas, Commandant's List. Specialist Jace J.N. Pegarito, 721st Army Band, Guam, Commandant's List. Specialist Lyle Shaw, 39th Army Band, New Hampshire, Commandant's List. Specialist Christian Ite, 13th Army Band, Florida. Specialist Emma Bennett, 34th Army Band, Iowa. Specialist Caleb Bishop, 234th Army Band, Oregon. Specialist Jose Bocanegra, 248th Army Band, Puerto Rico. Specialist Noah Brock, 28th Infantry Division Band, Pennsylvania. Specialist Connor Gross, 38th Infantry Division Band, Indiana. Specialist Guillermo Cabrera, 215th Army Band, Massachusetts. Specialist Cody Corona, 144th Army Band, Illinois. Specialist Daniel Coronado, 191st Army Band, California. Specialist Jeffrey Dog, 1st Cavalry Division Band, Fort Hood, Texas. Specialist Drew Eisman, 41st Army Band, Mississippi. Specialist Theodore Ernster, 204th Army Band, Minnesota. Specialist Abigail Fedorowicz, 25th Infantry Division Band, Hawaii. Specialist Kayla Fontaine, 73rd Army Band, U.S. Virgin Islands. Specialist Dawson Harris, 313th Army Band, Alabama. Specialist Ethan Harris, 313th Army Band, Alabama. Specialist Andrew Inn, 82nd Airborne Division Band, Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Specialist Askar Kayatov, 312th Army Band, Kansas. Specialist Chavez Maya Oliveira, 63rd Army Band, Specialist Carla Martinez, 248th Army Band, Puerto Rico. Specialist Nicholas McKenzie, 100th Army Band, Kentucky. Specialist Peter Maris, 234th Army Band, Oregon. Specialist Christopher Monahan, 156th Army Band, Louisiana. Specialist John Newton IV, 129th Army Band, Tennessee. Specialist Andrew Payne, 56th Army Band, Joint Base Lewis McChord, Washington. Specialist Robert Pesky, 188th Army Band, North Dakota. Specialist John Rutgers, 133rd Army Band, Washington. Specialist Casey Ryan, 88th Army Band, Rhode Island. Specialist Benjamin Schlam, 108th Army Band, Arizona. Specialist Stephen Sim, 257th Army Band, District of Columbia. Vladislav Sletchev, 101st Airborne Division Band, Fort Campbell, Kentucky. Specialist Jenna Stone, 82nd Airborne Division Band, Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Specialist Gavin Townley, 147th Army Band, South Dakota. Please join me in a round of applause for the graduates of Army Musician Corps Staff. At this time, the Army School of Music would like to recognize the NCOs that made it possible for these soldiers to be here today. These NCOs wear the most recognizable hats in the Army. They work incredibly long hours, often sacrificing their personal time to make sure the soldiers' needs are met. They lead physical training each morning and push the soldiers to be proficient in their warrior tasks and drills. Each and every day, they live their creed, transforming individuals into motivated, disciplined, and fit soldiers, instilling them with pride in themselves, the Army, and their country, ensuring that each soldier meets and maintains the Army standard of military bearing and courtesy, leading by example and always demonstrating what right looks like. Please join me in a round of applause for Senior Drill Sergeant Christopher Neverby, Drill Sergeant Elizabeth Thacker, and Drill Sergeant Lisa Guy. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and join us in the singing of the Army Song and the departure of the official party. At this time, the DHD will take command of the platoon.
DHD post. AIT class 26-002. Dismissed.
On behalf of the Commandant and Command Sergeant of the United States Army Corps, provided by the U.S. Army School of Music Staff Brass Quintet. We would like that they have what it takes to be an Army musician, and are now ready to take their place in Army units around the world. Today, we celebrate their achievement and welcome them to the Army team. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the national anthem.